The Sahara Conference has well and truly taken shape, and Day 6 presents two more fascinating encounters for all involved. Rwandan champions REG already qualified, taking on Stade Malien. REG certainly have put on an impressive show with their 3-0 record, and they're looking to solidify top spot in the Sahara Conference. Stade Malien coming off a loss yesterday evening against AS Douane, will look to bounce back. And Coach Kabakante has been instrumental in getting people ready for this one. Well, let's have a look at the starting five, Asher.
It is the same starting five for Kabakante. You have Makan Keita, the captain, Mamadou Keita, Aliou Diarra, Suleiman Berthe, and John Wilkins. It is the same starting five that came on the floor yesterday against AS Douane. They've been trusted with the job today to come up against the reigning Sahara Conference champions. And let's see what they will deliver today on this court here at the Dakar Arena.
A lot of talk about Suleiman Berthe leading the conference and leading the scoring for his team. Aliou Diarra has been great as well, attacking the glass. And Coach Dean Murray making reference to the ability on the rebounding.
And obviously Dean Murray, a man who believes that if it's not broken, no need to fix it. STEM, starting five, Adonis Faila, Diodon Dizeye, Cleveland Thomas Jr., Pichu Manga, Pascal Nyonghuru comes in for the first time in the Sahara Conference, and that will be very interesting. He's known for his defensive abilities. He's a man who has thrown everything on the court every time he's played. And the coach, Dean Murray.
Coach Dean Murray, above many other things, has got a favorite food of chicken, comes from, wants to live in Charleston in South Carolina. He's coached out there before, and his favorite team is the Charlotte Hornets. I wonder if that has to do anything with the ownership in terms of Michael Jordan. And when you have a look at Coach K, who loves rice, prefers the Golden State Warriors, and he'd love to go check out Zim.
Talking about Zimbabwe, he must be very amazed by the Victoria Falls and many other things that you can see in Zimbabwe.
Well, this one certainly is tantalizing because this Stade Malien team under a little bit of pressure, especially coming off that loss to AS Douane. They will want to try and secure a position that would see them book a ticket to Kigali. What that will require is them beating these undefeated Sahara Conference Rwandan champions who've been the hot team as far as play is concerned. Referee Dorothy Okach from Botswana. This is a special day in the Basketball Africa League. BAL for her day, where they celebrate current female leaders in sports on and off the court, looking to empower the next generation. Someone who knows a little bit about that is you, Ms. Asha Kombagisha.
Yes, absolutely. Talking about Dorothy Okach, one of the great referees on the continent, a face of female refereeing on the continent, from Botswana, originally from Uganda, but she's lived in Botswana for a couple of last decades.
Well, we get this one on and going, and we haven't forgotten. We've got a third member of this team, and he got a little bit of insight from the coaches before. And Robbie, you get a mood from both coaches just before starting this. Do you get a sense that there's a lot on the line?
I think it's a pressure cooker situation, isn't it? As we see that man Cleveland Thomas Jr. drop in the first points. Pressure cooker situation for Coach Cabra. He knows that Stade Malien need to get the victory here today. Dean Murray, he knows that they're coming up against a very strong team as well, Q. So a big battle on our hands. Everybody wants to win.
Berthe from long range, it's front iron and picked up nicely. Dizeye first rebound. Filer has been the go-to guy on the offensive end, has been instrumental in orchestrating the offense. Thomas Jr.'s shot rattles in and out. Diarra first rebound, back the other way. Diarra drives. Graham is going to pick up the first foul, and that's nice transition offense. Diarra dipping his shoulder, getting right into the body of that man Graham.
Well, talking about Aliou Diarra, he's been a key member of this Stade Malien side, obviously averaging 15.3 points per game, and also on the rebound, getting 14.3 after just 3 games. How big will he be tonight against the Rwanda Energy Group? You can already see he's on the line, asking the questions, and REG will have to look for those answers if they stand a chance to win against Stade Malien today.
And yeah, you certainly do get an idea that the platform that the Basketball Africa League is Aliou Diarra making a name for himself with his ability on the offensive board and also his play inside the paint. He's been absolutely instrumental in helping Stade Malien establish themselves. Second in and out. He struggled from the free throw line so far, and that's rebound Manga. Thomas Jr. looking to set the tone. Graham tries to get the pass inside. It's picked off by Diarra. Keita speeding up the floor, is blocked, and there's a rebound by Diarra. And it's waved off by referee Dorothy Okach. Just a confirmation on whether the continuation will go. Just another look. The block comes in as Diarra picking up the rebound. The question really is, Asha, whether the contact comes on the ground before the shot attempt and how they interpret what that looks like.
And talking about interpretation, referee Amir Abolo from Egypt showing that it is a foul and shooting two for Aliou Diarra, who once again goes to the charity line.
So they count the bucket, they have to, especially if it's in the act of shooting. So it will be an opportunity for and one from Diarra. Spoke a little bit about the struggles from the free throw line. He's 35% from the free throw in conference play. He gets that one though. Just another look, confirmation first. It's the foul on Graham. And back, yeah, foul on Manga rather. And that's the second team foul for REG. Manga gonna work against Diarra. He goes left, is contested, comes off. Berthe quickly back in transition. Skies and finishes.
Suleiman Berthe introducing himself in this game. He's been one of their leading scorers in the Sahara Conference. Highest point scorer so far, averaging 23.7 points, and he's already got his name on the board.
He is a wonder up and down the floor. He had 19 points in their loss against AS1. Questions around his eligibility, but you get to see him in full flight, coming down, finishing with that right hand. First two for Berthe. 4-point game. Keita. Berthe and Diarra. The combination that works for Stade Malien. Diarra up and in. Nice touch on that mid-range jump shot.
It's incredible to see how Aliou Diarra is looking very comfortable despite the presence of Pichu Manga in that paint. He's twisting, turning, moving all over the place, and so far he's looking good with 6 points, Aliou Diarra.
Dizeye can't hit from the corner, the wide open three-pointer. He gets it back, he'll try another one, and the radar just off as he front irons again.
Well, Coach Dean Murray talked about those offensive rebounds, and Manga just got one himself, but it was not good enough from Dizeye on his second attempt behind the arc.
Another miss from Keita. Three-point shooting not really on fire from either team yet. Filer, Manga tries to slow it down into the hands of Cleveland Thomas Jr. Thomas Jr. around the screen. Elbow jumper is good. First connection from the field for Thomas Jr. They needed that one. The game is starting to get away from them. And that's only 4 points in 3 minutes played for REG.
Well, that just shows you how Thomas Jr. will be very key for REG on the offensive side.
Keita fires from the deep. It's picked up by Darwin Graham. And one thing about Stade Malien is they do struggle from the three-point line. They take 25 threes a game, and they're only converting 14% of those. And that's about 3.7 of those a game. And that's definitely a weakness in their offensive makeup. Something that they can improve on. Makan Keita. REG basketball. Ball just spills out. 4-point game. Dizeye to Filer. Dropped off. Beautiful play. Graham goes up, can't get it in. Well contested at the rim.
There's great eyes there on the baseline from Cleveland Thomas Jr.
Shot has to come in. Shot clock winding down. Manga and Diarra get tangled up in John Wilson Jr. Wilkins rather. Keita wide open for three. In and out. Still no joy from long range for either team. Just a little bit cold from the perimeter. Graham try a three of his own. Too strong.
Look at how REG are being out-rebounded. Good defense there from Stade Malien.
Wilkins finds the range from the three-point line and pulls out the bow and arrow as he connects and extends the Stade Malien lead to 7.
Talking about Wilkins, is one of those big men that can shoot from anywhere around the perimeter. And just to give Stade Malien so many options.
Well, the three comes in. Desire in the corner. He loves that shot. They look for him in the corner, and he connects. His third attempt. First one connects.
It's third time lucky for him, Q.
Third time lucky indeed, Usher. Verte. He'll try the long range shot. Under pressure, makes the three. Verte locked in.
That was a message for anyone that thought Verte is still injured. He's just delivered the good news with that three-pointer, and it's going to be a very long night for REG if they can't stop him.
Around the screen comes Cleveland Thomas Jr. REG just a little bit behind the pace and the tempo. Thomas Jr. from top of the key. Rebound Filer. Can't finish. There's a scramble for it, and look like last touch comes off the body of Manga, so it will be Stade Malien basketball, and they have done a lot of the hard yards early. Stade Malien leading the way offensively. It's 14-7 in favor from the Malian champions. That's a beautiful block just to close out. Diarra right there to contest Graham. 14-7 it is. Back after this. Dakar Arena is where it is happening. 14-7 in favor of the team from Bamako. Rwanda Energy Group really on the back foot to start out the first 5 minutes of this first quarter, and it's been very interesting watching Stade Malien put their offense together. Asha Komukisha.
Yes, talking about Stade Malien, Aliou Diarra, of course, leading the charge there. 6 points, 3 rebounds so far in just 6 minutes played here. He will be a very key player for Stade Malien on both ends of the court.
Well, it must have been interesting happenings around the coaching huddle, and I know that we have a man on the ground close by, lurking, trying to figure out what the mood is. And Robbie Knock, what could you pick up from that timeout?
Yeah, thanks very much, Q. It really is about like squeezing Stade Malien and just putting pressure on their shooters who are obviously firing in from out wide, and for them, for a REG to actually pass the ball, swing it around, be patient, and then go for the big shots.
Long-range shot comes in. Thank you, Robbie, from Keita. Rebound controlled by the Rwanda Energy Group. Graham, the man who scored, and now going to be called for the block as he moves in on the screen, but illegally so. It's the third team foul for REG. Second one on Graham.
And talking about REG, there's a substitution on the floor. Shomshe Urich replacing Pichumanga. And obviously a great finish there from Delwan Graham.
A lot of talk around Shomshe's shot from the top of the key. Just front rims. Diarra tries to wrestle it away. It's tapped, but there's a contact call, and that's on Diarra. Picks up his first foul, second one for Stade Malien. And there's no happiness here. Just have a look at what was happening, and just a touch foul to try to get the ball around Dizeye, who was right there. 14-9 it is. Filer, it's been quiet. Filer drives in. It's well defended. Rebound into the hands of Diarra. They have numbers if they need it. Keita! In and out. Diarra was there to try and pick up on the miss. Should have converted on that one.
It was good effort from Diarra to try and get that offensive rebound, but the ball came off him, and REG will take the possession. But there's so much tension in the game so far, Q. You can see that both sides are really trying to stretch on both ends of the court.
They certainly are. First substitution as Keita goes in. Amayo comes back onto the floor. Dizeye is blocked. Contact. Wilkins, tough cover. A step late, and he picks up the foul. Basketball all about adjustments, just trying to read the tempo and the situation on the floor, and you expect it to be a little bit tight because of the implications for both these teams. Rwanda Energy Group, of course, will try and want to end up top of the conference once again, and they've played some really great basketball, beating out everybody who's come in their far. This one is still the makings of a very tough encounter. Zayek working on Wilkins into the left hand, contact, count the bucket at one.
Dize just bringing that experience and drive into the paint.
And Dize just right there, calling for the ball, looking for the isolation and getting the ball on the floor, drive, contact, and one.
Well, that's good communication for Dize and his teammates, being able to ask for the ball, get it, and actually make it count.
Big time make and converts the three-point play. Does the Ugan Dize 2-point game. REG back on the charge. Been able to make a 5-point run in this sequence of play. 2:30 remain in the first quarter, and a look on the pass on the inside again, doing the work on the defensive end. Dize. Big possession for Stade Malien. Baseline out of bounds.
And it looks like Dize just got hit there, but he's fine. He stays on the floor.
Konate, Amayo into Diarra. It's taken away. Ball knocked loose. Chinyelo, who's in, fires. Konate has no choice but to shoot. Chinyelo is there on the rebound, and he turns and fires and hits. Nice work on the offensive glass for Ruben Chinyelo, and he gets his first two with his first minutes on the floor.
It's a big basket from the BAL Elevate player from the NBA Africa Academy.
Thomas Jr. can't hit the three-pointer. It's chased down. Dize has been everywhere on the floor, defensively and offensively, and secures that position for REG.
Talking about possession for REG, there's really a couple of changes on the floor for both teams. But Diarra, the man Diarra, is in fine form.
Dize, it rattles in and out. He can't knock down the three. Up quickly. Verte, well defended, and that looked, on first look, actually, that looked clean from behind. We're not the referees, we're not on the floor, but got to go with what the visuals say. And that was some great work by Cleveland Thomas Jr. to get back. Verte was ahead of the play.
Well, let's look at the replay. Verte with the ball, but there seems to be some contact there from Thomas Jr. as referee Amir Abolo calls for a foul, and Verte will go to the line.
Well, he did get the ball, but he also got some of the arm, and so it will be Verte to the free throw line.
Yeah, Cleveland Thomas Jr. didn't duck away from the contact. He was pointing to his fingertips to say, yeah, there was contact, you know, I'll take it on the chin.
It's always tough, and I don't know what it looked like from your perspective, Robbie, but thank you very much. Verte connects. 6 points. And Chobozwa, who's come in, touch on, rather, from Amayo. 5-point game it is. This Stade Malien is able to create separation every time REG look like they're coming back.
And that's exactly the mark of a team that is here to do the business. Stade Malien, they know winning tonight will go a long way in helping them qualify for the playoffs in Kigali in May.
Chinyelo caught in between Chomche, and Chomche able to take the ball away as a kick violation is called. Chinyelo could not quite control the offensive rebound. Possession secured.
That's a very good matchup there between Chomche and Chinyelo. We'll see a lot of that tonight as both players have favor from the coaches.
They do, and they do get quite a bit of minutes. And there's Dize on the ball fake. Feeds into Chomche and is caught and sandwiched in between the two defenders. So it is turnover basketball. Tough and physical inside the paint.
It is tough for Chomche, the youngster, 17 years old, who's been named as the greatest prospect from Cameroon after Pascal Siakam and Joel Embiid. Just trying to find his feet here at the BAL.
A lot of pressure on the young man with tags like that, but he plays the game so hard, does Ulrich Chomche. Konate Amayo inside now. Chinielo's matches up with Chomche. Chinielo challenged. It rattles out. It's kept alive. Stade Malien another chance. Bridgeford. The three-pointer comes from the baseline. Is tapped back, and they just can't secure on second and third chance opportunities. They might rule that one. Nchobozwa taken away. Nice work defensively. Amayo. And it's Nchobozwa who will pick up the foul. That's going to be the 15th foul. First one on Nchobozwa.
There is a lot of hands in the paint, on the court, everywhere. And you can see Nchobozwa trapped there by Amayo. Ball stolen, and he fouls.
Yeah, great defensive pressure. Not giving any kind of offensive freedom to the Rwanda Energy Group guards when they've got the ball in hand, and it sends Amayo to the free throw line with both teams now, or with Rwanda and REG in the penalty. 31 seconds left. Stade Malien can create some separation. There's a 2-for-1 opportunity on the other side of this. If REG go quickly with possession in hand, they will have the last shot as well.
Yeah, it's great attitude, great stats to the game for Stade Malien.
Amayo's shot rims off. Chinielo keeps alive. Amayo's there and finishes. That was great work on the rebound by Ruben Chinielo. Nchobozwa. 1 second differential between shot and game clock. Thomas Jr. Hassled by Traore. Thomas Jr. He drives, floats up and comes off the rim. Chance for Stade Malien to close out. The drive is in, and Traore finishes with the left hand. He closes off a great first quarter for Stade Malien as they take a 10-point lead. That's been really great offensive execution as far as Stade Malien are concerned, and REG on the ropes just here after the first quarter.
It is a big 10-point difference for Stade Malien. They're hungry. You can see they want this, and they're giving everything on both sides of the court. Great cohesion between the starters and the players from the bench to just make sure that Kabakante's side have a chance to win this game. And we have a big 3 quarters coming up.
Well, the referees are going to just take a little look again, and we'll always make we'll always check to ensure that the bucket went off. And basket does count, and we have confirmation from the referees on the side, so it is a 10-point lead. Traore drives in, gets the shot up, contested, great layup. And at the end of the first quarter, it's Stade Malien 22, Rwanda Energy Group 12. A conference basketball going down here at the Dakar Arena, and it is BAL for her day in the Basketball Africa League, celebrating leaders in sports and in the sports industry. And Dorothy Okach in control on the floor, and alongside me in control, Asha Komugisha. Fantastic day in the Basketball Africa League.
Yeah, thank you so much, Q. It's so beautiful to see so many female faces here, and obviously great support from all the men in the BAL and outside of the BAL.
Of course, there's plenty of sport. First shot goes up, and must have been interesting inside that huddle, especially on the REG side. And I know that we have our man courtside, Robbie. What could you pick up from the coaches?
Here, it's all about the rebounds. They're not up to scratch with the rebounds. That's been a problem. They need to make sure that they jump. They need to retain possession, keep possession, and turn the possession into points. But the rebounds, very much the most important thing on their minds at the moment.
6 offensive rebounds. Nchobozwa can't get the bucket, and right there is Graham on the finish. Talking about rebounding, that one, Graham, right place, right time for 2 points.
Absolutely, Graham cleaning up nicely and just getting those 2 points on the board to reduce that deficit to 10 points. It's still a long way to go for REG in this game.
Still plenty of basketball to be played. Bridgeford looking for Chinielo, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Amayo around the screen, he hangs and fires, hits front iron, control again. Chinielo, another rebound. Chinielo to Bridgeford. The drive in, Bridgeford draws the contact, and he gets Manga just a step behind. Manga looks back, and he'll have to acknowledge the foul, and it's going to send Brian Bridgeford to the free throw line. Breaking down Manga on the drive.
Manga with 2 fouls there very early on in the game. It could be a very defining moments in this game. But Bridgeford will be pleased that he's on the charity line, and he'll want to extend Stade Malien's lead.
It was very surprising that Bridgeford picked up a DNP in yesterday evening's loss to AS1. Didn't even get on the floor, and I'm sure he'll be relishing the opportunity to be right back on the court representing Stade Malien. Of course, he played his college basketball at Washington Adventist and has been averaging around about 5.5 points for the Stade Malien team.
Yeah, he comes off the bench and gives them that offensive side of his prowess, but also aggressive on defense. Just his presence in the paint, you can see he's become a problem for Pichu Manga, and has nothing to do with size.
Maybe a little bit of speed.
Quick on his feet, yes, that's right.
Bridgeford 1 of 2, and the lead now up above 10 points to 11. It goes 25-14. REG and Tyler still scoreless in this one. Graham loses his footing as he comes around trying to fake use of the screen, and there's the foul call. Konate looks on and he can't believe it, but their leg extension, the contact and the call is made.
Yeah, just looking at the replay there. Graham is back on his feet, still on the floor for REG.
Filer floats up and through the contact, gets the foul call, unable to convert, and he'll get a chance to finally get himself on the score sheet.
Yeah, he's been quiet so far tonight, but perhaps that trip to the charity line is what could give Filer some confidence.
Well, Carver's player had a 25-point outing and has been the go-to guy on the offensive end. 13.3 points a game, Adonis Filer. But it's been his three-point shooting as well, 40% from the three-point line, that has been impressive in their play and in their wins so far. Converts both, does Adonis Filer. Back under 10. Press now from REG. The extra pass. And the right find, but the footwork a little bit fleeting as Traore commits the travel.
It was really good eyes there, and Traore with the trouble in the paint.
Feet first before the bounce, and the referee's right there to make the call. Graham working against Bridgeford. He goes right and a bit strong. Great move, just finish eluding him. Tough guard, tough cover. That one, Graham can put the ball on the floor, but also quite physical inside the paint. Well, it's turnover ball. It's Stade Malien back the other way. Chobozwa hassling Traore. Konate. Thomas wrestles it away. A chance for REG on the fast break. Chobozwa hits the three.
Wow, what a finish there from Chobozwa. He's definitely in his mood now, and that he gets from playing 3-on-3 basketball, where he can score under pressure, and is bringing that to the court right now at the BAL.
Well, his defensive pressure really well noted in the Basketball Africa League. Ball thrown away, passes picked up, great read. The pass to Amayo, alone in the corner, and he hits a three. Right back every time REG score. Stade Malien seem to have an answer.
It's great to see Amayo just getting that momentum in this game.
Thomas Jr. Now Graham going to try and work that matchup once again. Manga, who's back in, fires the short jumper. Rebound is cleaned up by Amayo. Still at 11. Konate. Working. Chobozwa up on him. They clear out. I'm going to give Amayo a chance to go to work. Amayo. And it's a hard foul. Manga is a little bit late coming across. And that's going to be problems for Pichu Manga, who's going to pick up his third.
when you actually saw what happened, he stretched his arm out. His arm went between the two hands of the Stade Malien player, and of course he kind of like went the follow through and then fell to the ground. So it's a clumsy reaction from Pichu Manga, but obviously, you know, third foul is not a good scenario. But that's why he's like trying to defend his cause.
But it's also the strength of Manga. You know, not just any individual can knock a man down with an outstretched arm, Robbie, and you get an indication of what physical presence he has in the paint.
Oh, I do indeed, Q, I promise you that.
Well, it's not looking good for REG as Pichu Manga heads to the bench. In comes Ulrich Chomche, the youngster who's done this before in this tournament. When Manga has been in foul trouble, he stepped up, but in the paint, he comes up against his BAL Elevate player, teammate, Chinyelu.
Interesting matchup. That will be Chinyelu has got position on the inside. Chomche comes away with the rebound. It's Filer and REG back the other way. It's really interesting, this matchup. Contact is called, and the foul off the ball is called. It's Graham walking across into the path of Verte.
Well, Graham will have to decide whether it is a screen that he was trying to place, but it is a foul, and that's 3 personal fouls for 2 of REG's big men. Danger.
I like when you say that, because it really is danger. They have to manage their foul situation, and depth in their big man is going to be tested now for Coach Dean Murray. He's going to be looking for options on the bench. He might have to go small.
We're talking about going small. It is Shamshe who takes up the role in the center for REG.
Big score. Verte drives in and extends this significant lead back up to 11. 5:46 left in the second quarter. Filer, elbow jump shot. Front iron, Chomche on the rebound. Extra pass. Thomas right into the body of Verte. Beautiful defense. Just wingspan controlling the basketball. Now he goes back the other way into the corner. The 3 is good. Traore connects, and that's a beautiful play. Verte with the vision, Traore with the shot.
Absolutely incredible. It is 4 points for Traore in this game so far, as REG look to respond on the other side.
With an answer of his own as he gets inside for the beautiful slam, and we've seen him throw down a couple in conference play. Chomche challenges Bridgeford, takes it away.
Well, you talked about Stade Malien scoring every time REG score, and with that rebound from Chomche, they have a chance to turn things around on the other side of the court.
Filer trying to get fired up, and here's another look at the blow-by and the throw-down. Adonis Filer up of 2, throws it down with 1.
Yeah, absolutely. That comes from getting that defensive rebound on the other side and giving themselves a chance on the transition. And Filer delivers.
32-21, 4:52 left in this one. Fascinating. The best way to describe what's happening on the floor in the Sahara Conference encounter. Stade Malien 32, Rwanda Energy Group 21. And the mood around the different benches should be very interesting. I know a man who can give us a little bit more insight into what's happening around the benches than Robbie. You pick up anything interesting?
Well, look, Coach Dean Murray, he is saying, don't worry, you know, we're going to be okay. It's early doors, and we've got to really attack the inside, you know, and we've got to play our game. And he was basically underlining the importance of playing their own game and not getting rattled too much, and not getting sucked in defensively to commit fouls.
Well, they play some defense on their possession, and the ball is thrown away on Stade Malien as Rwanda Energy Group into a press out of the timeout.
Well, talking about Rwanda Energy Group, they're playing small so far on the court.
Chomche. And is kept alive on the miss. The hands of Nshibozwa. Small ball may be the way they go. Chomche on the screen. Filer inside. Bundles in between the defense for the hard-fought 2.
Wow, Filer weaving his way into the paint and getting those 2 points. Very timely for REG. They need that right from that break to stay alive in this game.
33% from the field. REG have really struggled. They're 22% from the three-point line. Filer. Dizeye can't get the shot. Back out to Filer, who's going to try 3 of his own. 3, the hard way. Filer lets us know that he's locked in.
Talking about locked in, Filer always training that shot in practice, and just seeing him deliver is not a surprise today.
Interesting fact about Adonis Filer, he was actually brought over by Dean Murray when Dean Murray turned up in Rwanda before COVID hit, so he's actually one of his personal assets.
Well, it certainly is, and you can see why he had to go through the BAL combine, and Filer hits the 3, turns around, and that's all confidence. It's all net. It's all Adonis Filer.
Talking about Adonis Filer, first player in this game to go into the double digits, 11 points for that man. He started slow in the first quarter, but now he's found his feet and just gotten comfortable and scored 11 points in less than 7 minutes in this second quarter, Q.
And that was his 7th made 3 in conference play. He's been shooting it at 40%. He's definitely been part of one of the best. They are the best backcourt. If you look at their record, they're 3-0. Thomas Jr., Filer, the best backcourt in the Sahara Conference up to this point, because they've taken on all challenges and they've beaten them so far.
You're talking about challenges. Adonis Filer, Cleveland Thomas Jr., both averaging 13 points per game in this Sahara Conference, could be very key for REG to defend their Sahara Conference title, but there's a lot of work to do. Stade Malien have shown that they have what it takes to ask the questions. Could be their debut season, but they're looking good, and Kaba Kante is not worried at all for his side, Stade Malien.
Well, it's still lots of time left in this one. Filer kicks out. Chobozwa's open. He front irons the 3. Chased down by Dizeye. Thinks about it. Defense reacts now. It's wide open. Thomas Jr. can't find his touch. And right there is Berthe. But he gets a hand in his face, and there is a contact call. It's going to be the 4th team foul on REG.
I just listened to Coach Kante of Stade Malien. He's basically saying, composure, guys, composure. Be composed. We've already rattled them. We've already drawn many fouls against them. Let's be composed like we were before the last 5 minutes.
And that message always resonates, especially with the young talent that he has on his team. Stade Malien have impressed with their play and their athleticism. It's Keita, Verte, around the screen. And Chomche is going to get whistled, coming out just a little too aggressively, picks up the foul.
Talking about fouls, Chomche knows that he's been given the confidence to handle matters in the paint. It's his first personal foul, but he has to be very careful with Graham and Manga, each with 3 personal fouls in this game, and a lot of basketball cue to play.
And he's got to be even more careful because they are now in the bonus. So it means every single time there's a foul, they will save Stade Malien to the free throw line. They've shot it at 55.8% on 20 attempts. So that's about 11 makes per game from Stade Malien.
And talking about that man, Suleiman Berthe, 10 points so far in this game. He is only the 2nd player to score over 30 points against US Monastir. That just shows you how much quality he has and what he brings to this game against REG tonight.
He is exciting for sure. Kept alive by Filer. Filer will pull up. Goes wide right. Diarra cleans up on that hard miss from Adonis Filer. There. Keita round the screen. Sees Amayo in the corner. Amayo drives baseline, tries to flip the up and under, and it goes right over the rim. Last touch on Diarra, so it will be Malien basketball.
They're looking at Stade Malien. They need to be careful not to lose their focus in this game with such reckless, small mistakes. Just look for the easy basket and keep that lead against REG, because things could change in a matter of minutes here in the Dakar arena.
Chomche was in a great position, just couldn't force the ball up. Now it's well picked open. Chobozwa reads the passing lane. Chobozwa pulls up for 3, comes out the hand, front iron again, couldn't connect. Keita back the other way. Back and forth, frenetic action. Berthe. Berthe. And Chobozo, another steal. They have numbers now. And the foul is on Keita. And that's a smart foul because REG had numbers on that fast break and no players ahead of the game. So Coach Dean Murray really wants this unsportsmanlike call. But it's not going to go his way. The referee's just conferring as...
Well, talking about conferring, that man, Chobozo Mukiza, has been key to REG's defense over the years, but also just really, he's the man that holds the world record for steals in a single game. 14 steals against South Sudan in the FIBA AfroBasket 2021 qualifiers, and just sort of brings that experience here at the BAL.
Well, if we're talking about stealing, there's a man who can steal some information for us in his sideline over there. And Robbie, you're going to try and replicate what we've seen just a little bit from Chobozo on the floor.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'll just get into my shorts and my sneakers, and I'll be out on the floor. Big long-range shots from downtown, the suburbs, central business district, wherever you like.
Yeah, well, talking about the ability to steal the basketball, and Chobozo really does make it dangerous for you to put a ball on the floor. Let's have a look at what's been happening. Adonis Filer, 11 points, has come alive, 3 of 7 from the field, 6 points for Ndizeye with 7 rebounds. Really great work. Berthe leads the way with his 10 points and 4 rebounds. Diarra's chipped in again consistently on the rebounding, 6 points, 8 boards, and balanced scoring for both teams at this point.
Yeah, talking about Stade Malien, they've been efficient. They'll be proud of their performance so far in the first 2 quarters, but let's talk about this man here, Adonis Filer. 11 points so far in this game compared to 5 from the last game, so huge improvement. 2 steals so far, same as the last time. 1 for 2 behind the yak, better than the last time when he missed both his 2 attempts, and could be a definitive player, obviously, for REG tonight.
He's got to take advantage of the matchups, and I think that's going to be an area that they can capitalize. Basketball, all about matchups, so each game can be completely different. And right now, Filer playing his role for REG.
No, I'm at the other end. Hugh, can't you see me? Come on.
I can see you now.
No, I was just listening to Coach Murray. He's basically saying, watch out for these plays that they've got. They want to get the ball out into the corner, and they're going to just try and hit some big threes once they can distribute the ball. So good fast swing ball, very important now.
Ball blocked away. Great work again. Diarra, he comes across, and it's Thomas Jr. who scoops up and over skillfully. Beautiful play.
Talking about skillful, that's great from Cleveland Thomas Jr. Just straight down the middle, and 2 points for REG before the clock. Beating the clock, very important for REG at this point in the game.
Diarra. Keita. Pressured by Chobozo. Keita forced into the offense. Good work on the defensive end. Berthe thought about it. He goes into the stop and pop and won't find his touch. Chomche on the board. Cross court. Thomas Jr. They can go 2 for 1. And then it's Thomas Jr. again. Drop off pass. Chomche right up at Diarra, and that matchup has been won right now by Aliou Diarra with Chomche. Malien, Stade Malien, Diarra. Wide open, Wilkins knocks down a big 3.
It is his second 3-pointer in this game. Very important, not just for his confidence, but to help Stade Malien maintain that lead.
Filer fires, and we've seen what can Adonis Filer do from downtown. We've seen him make a 4-point play in conference play, and also has the knack of drawing fouls. He does draw the foul from Berthe. Berthe not very happy. Just have a look at that situation. It's a step back, stepping into the space, and referee right there making the correct call.
Talking about that man, Suleiman Berthe, comes from a great basketball family in Mali. He inspired his 3 sisters to play. One of them is here watching and very proud of him. And actually the other 2 are twins, Saran and Jume Berthe. They've played for Mali at junior level, won African championships, and now it's his turn. Can he lead Stade Malien to win the BAL, but first they must qualify for the playoffs queue.
What a basketball family, and they talk so fondly about their love for the game, and you know, you just see the power of basketball across the continent, and that is a great story. Adonis Feiler. 2.7 seconds left. Can't make the third on that. It's a rebound that comes off. They won't get the ball up in time as the full court pressure by the REG defense enough to stop that attack from Stade Malien. And well, it's been fascinating indeed as Rwanda Energy Group, they are undefeated so far, but Stade Malien holding on to the lead. It's 37-32 at halftime at Dakar Arena. The all-important third quarter about to get underway here at Dakar Arena, and ball already inbounded by Suleiman Berthe. Chobozwa right up on pressuring Keita and trying to set the tone very, very early is Chobozwa Mukiza, and he forces the turnover on that one. That's you can credit him with the third steal because that's as good as a steal with the ball pressure. He applied 8-second violation and backcourt violation for Stade Malien and Keita out of the halftime break.
Well, talking about Chobozwa, that's a great stat for him. To this third quarter, Chobozwa, one of the all-round players that have stood out in the BAL since its start in 2021.
Berthe up on the miss and can't finish this. Diarra back controlling the rebound. Another rebound for him. That's a ninth. Keita. Amayo drives, finds Berthe on the elbow. Little short jumper comes off the back eye, and that's the 10th rebound now for Aliou Diarra. He turns, makes the shot.
Aliou Diarra just continuing from where he started off in the first half. Good challenge against Manga. He doesn't fear the man. He's just up there to do his job and get out of the way.
In is Thomas Manga and Chobozwa. Feiler and Dizeye on the floor, and the foul is called. Just a question of whether they call the make, and there's a lot of consternation and talk, and another technical foul is awarded to Coach Kabakante, who's in the thick of things right now.
Well, talking about Kabakante, former player himself, a little bit emotional there on the call as Adonis Feiler will head to the charity line.
And we have a look on this, and the call is for the kick out. And when you look at that replay, Asher, he goes straight up, and it's within the natural range of motion. You can usually tell when players kick out a little bit, but the Coach Kabakante really just remonstrating because he wants the call on the kick out. And, you know, referees and coaches trying to do their point or trying to make their point. In the meanwhile, Adonis Feiler knocks down another free throw. He's been 72.7% from the free throw line, and he'll get a chance to shoot 3. And this is a very big moment to start out the third quarter. He's been 7 of 8 from the free throw line, above his average.
Well, that's impressive from that man, Adonis Feiler. On that free throw line, he knows that every chance he has to shoot counts for the Rwanda Energy Group as they trail Stade Malien.
Chance to get it right back within a single possession and 3 points. Feiler connects on all 4. 17 points now for Adonis Feiler.
Talking about Feiler, you can see how excited the Rwandan fans are in the stands. They've come all the way from Dakar to Jamniado, where we are and where the Dakar Arena is located, just to give support to REG.
There's nothing like rhythmic drums to help with the action on the floor. It almost mimics it, but here's the drive in, kick out Amayo. Off the dribble, the little runner doesn't go up, and it's cleaned up by that man, Pichumanga. Gotta be aware, as Manga with those 3 fouls of his.
Yeah, you can see that Stade Malien players are actually trying to target him, but he's trying to play smart so far.
Taken away. Amayo Up he goes, and there's Cleveland Thomas Jr. Well, that is fantastic defensive work to get the challenge in and force Amayo to go and earn it from the charity stripe. Coach Kabakate is trying to work the refs from every angle possible.
Well, that contact, as we try to see if Thomas Jr. is still fit enough to continue, as both players fell over. But he's okay, he's fine. You can see he's back on the court as Amayo heads to the charity line. Well,
nice moment of sportsmanship between Amayo and Cleveland Thomas Jr. And what he did really well last year is he tried to run alongside. The unsportsmanlike foul would have come if he was challenging from behind, got level more or less to contest for the basketball, and that's the reason that we'll see Amayo on the free throw line and no upgrade on the court.
Well, Amayo knows the job at hand. He needs to score from his second attempt because REG are coming, they're knocking on that door. It's a three-point game. And let's see if Amayo will deliver.
Calvin Amayo played his NCAA basketball for Loyola Marymount in 2016 and 17, and he makes one of those free throws, one of 3 years from the free throw line. In this one, it's a 4-point game on the floor. Weiler taken away. Amayo again, this time, will he finish? He does.
It's great hands from Amayo to make 2 back-to-back steals, makes it count. That's 3 points from a possible 4. Not bad, Q.
Well, he this time had better awareness of where the defense was, and he got the finish. There's Weiler inside, and the contact is called on Manga. That's going to be his 4th foul. He gets called for the hold on Suleiman Verde, and I think we'll see Manga take a walk to the bench, and he does take a walk to the bench, trying to clear out. And the hold is right there. He's got a bigger body, he's got a bigger frame. Could have just stood still, and we have another look at the great work on the hands of Amayo as he gets the easy 2. 9 points for Amayo.
It's been impressive from Amayo. 4 personal fouls for Pichu Manga as he heads to the bench, and Shamshe is back on the floor to replace him.
Scooped into no man's land, and that's an unforced error. The turnover count starting to pile up. That's the 11th one for Stade Malien.
Yeah, it's a bit of miscommunication there between Suleiman Verte and Wilkins, but they're recovering okay on the other side, playing defense against REG. It's man-to-man.
Dizayek off the dribble, right into the defense, try to go glass, it rims out. Amayo is feeling it just a little bit. Amayo is contested, and there's a foul now. Cleveland Thomas Jr. is going to have to be aware that's his 3rd, and more importantly, it's going to send Amayo to the line to shoot 3. Amayo steps up, just a little touch on the elbow. The foot might even be called for the contact, and now a little word between Team Murray and Cleveland Thomas Jr.
It's huge pressure now on REG and Dean Murray as his key players are in foul trouble. 4 for Pichu Manga, 3 for Cleveland Thomas Jr. And obviously 3 for Graham, who's still on the bench.
Best offensive game for Calvin Amayo in conference play, and he has a chance. And these are big free throws. You know, we talk about the value of free throws and the importance of making them. I heard you say in previous broadcasts, you know why they call them free throws? Because
they are free, Q, they're free. Amayo needs, perhaps he needs a reminder.
Well, struggling right now, and that's been a real struggle for Stade Malien. 55% they are from the free throw line. Misses all 3. Amayo, though, gets the rebound back. A little bit of frustration as he gets the rebound in hand. Verte from way downtown. He gets front iron. Back it comes. Amayo steps in and hits the 3. Well, missed 3 free throws, but makes the 3 from downtown. And it is now Thomas Jr. driving in. Can't find it. It's well contested. Amayo with a lot of basketball in hand. It's thrown up! Diarra! On the fast break. Wow, fantastic transition basketball from Stade Malien as they go on the charge. 11-point lead on this one. Another look at the throw and the finish. Aliou Diarra, take a bow. Timeout on the floor, and we'll be back. 47-36 the score. 47-36 the score. 6:59 left in the third quarter. It is BAL for her day in the Basketball Africa League, and Asha Komagisha with a very special guest alongside Hamshetu Maiga, WNBA legend out of Mali. And let's hear a little bit from Asha.
Well, thank you so much, Q. I'm here with the legend from Mali, a former Malian captain. She won the FIBA Women's Afrobasket right here in Senegal in 2007. She was MVP. She played for Minnesota Lynx, Sacramento Monarchs, Houston Comets. She's a legend. But really, the questions that I would like to ask you, Hamshetu, what sort of impact have your travels had on you that you would think are relevant globally to young girls and women that look up to you?
Well, Asher, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's an honor for us to come here. Always we say coming back home to give back, because we like to believe that we had the opportunity to play with some of the best coaches, some of the best players, learn a lot in terms of basketball, but not only basketball on the floor, but life outside of it too. So those are things that we value and feel like it's important for us to show those young girls that we started here in Africa and they can do what we did and even better than what we've done.
Well, Hamshetu, the NBA Africa Academy right here in Saly in Senegal, just about an hour from where we are at the Dakar Arena, also has a program for girls. We've seen some of them on the court earlier, you taking pictures with them. When you see them and see how involved they are in really the grassroots development, how important is that for the growth of women's basketball on the African continent, but also generally across the world?
It is crucial. It's crucial. I said they are so lucky to have all those opportunities, because with the evolution of internet and stuff, they can be seen more. We didn't have that opportunity. I always say there's so many players that I've had a chance to play with that would even better than myself. And they had the same opportunity that these young girls has. We would have seen more Hamshetus, more Astus, more Clarice, more Muadis outside in the WNBA. So definitely having the NBA Academy in Africa is a big plus, and we need to have more of it, not just one, because the talent in Africa is huge. But we just need like more trainers, I would say, more coaches, more development, and we'll see. Africa is full of talent, so I'm very thankful that we have this opportunity here.
Well, thank you so much, Hamshetu Maiga, who is involved for the BAL for her program here at the Sahara Conference, and obviously former player for Minnesota Lynx, Sacramento Monarchs, and Houston Comets, and also former captain for Mali.
Thank you very much, Asha. Great interview, and let's get back right into this action, because it is frenetic. It's Stade Malien holding on to a 12-point lead in this one, and up and in goes Diarra, who's done all of the hard yards here in the third quarter. Been fantastic inside the paint. Up to 14 to lead all scorers on the floor. Back to Filer and REG. The pass into Thomas is cleaned out. Diarra right there again defensively. Controlling for Stade Malien. Keita. Amayo's calling for it. Amayo. Of front iron. Biggest lead in the game for Stade Malien. Filer, front iron. Vertic. Into the defense he goes, looking for Amayo. Can't find the connection, but the team is locked in and they're looking confident right now.
Yeah, talking about confidence, it's great play there from Aliou Diarra. We've known that he can block, he can shoot, he can pick rebounds, and that sort of, you know, gives him great confidence going into this fixture. And with that 13 and 14-point lead so far, Stade Malien asking the right questions against REG.
Talking about questions, Graham has a question of his own inside the paint, and he goes right up, right in, and he's able to get the 6 points now for Dalvin Graham, and he draws contact on that one. Third foul on Wilkins, and REG still searching. They just can't break down this Stade Malien offense and defense.
Well, talking about the Stade Malien defense with Wilkins back on the bench, Graham also back on the floor to partner Shamshe in that paint. He's so far scored 6 points, he has 3 rebounds, but he'll have to step it up if they have a chance to win this game.
Graham comes in off the feed from Thomas, and off the free throw miss, they are able to get it back within 10. Big sequence of play. There's Berthe. Chinyelo, who's back in on the floor for Wilkins. The drums in the arena getting louder. Berthe rattles in and out. Chomche cleans out.
And you talk about drums, they're a huge part of the Senegalese culture, a huge part of the Malian culture.
3 is short. There's Diarra again. Diarra has been fantastic in the second half. Berthe and Diarra on the putback. Big man shoes is filling right now. Aliou Diarra inside the paint. That's the 3rd dunk we've seen from him, and this one over all of the defense.
Well, great play there from Aliou Diarra to clean up nicely after Suleiman Bird. The two have a great combination.
Oh my! Filer with the dunk of his own.
Wow, that's very powerful from Filer. Great to see him get that confidence. You can see how he got off the ground and straight above Diarra, just to sort of say, I can do what you can do.
Patrol.
Wow.
That paint is what Filer says. He gets up and over the outstretched arms of Diarra on your head. And BAL poster series continues courtesy of Adonis Filer.
This is definitely going to be part of the highlights reel on Instagram.
Berthe. Wide left. We've seen some really high-flying action here at the Dakar Arena. Fantastic on both ends of the floor. Diarra has been dishing out dunks, and he gets served one of his own on the other end. 16 points and 14 rebounds for Aliou Diarra. And one wonders how much momentum that will actually give REG on the offensive end, because it's been fantastic stuff on the floor.
Yeah, talking about fantastic stuff on the floor. That double-double from that man, Aliou Diarra, is nothing surprising. He came into this particular fixture averaging 15.3 points per game and 14.3 points and rebounds, leading the rebounds
in the conference, and he's right there.
In the conference. I mean, he's just so energetic, he's precise, he's hungry. You can see that he wants to deliver for Stade Malien.
And he's just so consistent. Filer. Now Graham on the attack. Amayo got a hand on and couldn't keep it alive. It's a very, very much improved performance from Calvin Amayo in this one. Above and beyond Diarra, he's been the other standout performer for Stade Malien. Diarra going to get a little bit of a breather after some really great work. And man, that man has a motor. The motor's just got to take a little bit of a breather on the bench.
Well, talking to him earlier in the tournament, he said he's here to enjoy the BAL. He's been dreaming about it for the first 2 seasons, and now he has the platform to deliver, and he's making no mistake, Aliou Diarra.
Amayo keeps the pass in. Keita. Amayo is open. Keita, cross-court pass to the other Keita. Mamadou. And Mamadou spills the pass to Bridgeforth, and it goes out of bounds. 1:44 left.
It was really a bit of a low pass there from Mamadou Keita, one of the most experienced players for Stade Malien. He's played in Iraq, in Algeria, of course in Mali, his home country. He's played for Slack of Guinea, here in Senegal as well. So he's really at home, Mamadou Keita.
He brings some experience to this Stade Malien bench. But it's been the young players, in the young forwards, with Berthe alongside Diarra, who have done a lot of the heavy lifting. Thomas, his runner is short. Graham is right there, and then Chomche on the follow. Now the call could be on the contest from Darwin Graham, and I think that is the man who's going to go to the free throw line. Off the dribble, especially attacking, good work. Gets a little push in the back, and the Bridgeforth maybe the guilty party on that one, and he picks up a foul.
Well, obviously looking at the attempt from Cleveland earlier. You just get the feeling that he knows there's too many hands in the paint, so just looking for that flutter.
And Darwin Graham announced himself to the Basketball Africa League in the opening encounter for Rwanda Energy Group. He had 16 points and 13 rebounds against the Para Falcons, and he'll try and replicate that one here. Twice he was an all-star in the Ukrainian League, and bringing all of that expertise to the Basketball Africa League.
And talking about expertise, he's played on all continents. He's been everywhere, the man, in more than 10 countries, Graham. And finally, he makes his debut in Africa at the Sahara Conference at the BAL.
Drop off. Makan Keita. Traore. Mamadou Keita. Keita with the three ball comes off the front iron. Chinielo's in the wars. It's Thomas Jr. for Rwanda Energy Group. They have numbers. It's Graham. Chomche tries to tip in. The battle between Chinielo and Chomche for the rebound. Comes away into the hands of Makan Keita, and the hand-on from Fila, with the passing lane being well patrolled.
Well, there's so many hands in that paint, but also on the court everywhere. Makan Keita, Captain Fantastic for Stade Malien. He's very busy on defense, just giving Stade Malien another chance to have ball possession.
Makan, Mamadou Keita. Keita from the elbow. It's chased down by Chinielo. Chinielo falling down. Tries to get the shot up, and that's shot selection that probably you'd want to change. Dizeye is short. Back they come. Traore. Baseline three! And they continue to make big-time shots. Stade Malien, different sources. Traore wide open, and he knocks down the big three. 5 seconds left in the third. The shot is strong. Last possession here. Makan Keita can't close out for Stade Malien, but what they have done is hold on to their strong 11-point lead. The pass into the corner, Traore wide open, knows what to do with it. Bridgeforth again feeding Traore. Three goes in, the lead extended to 11, and the third quarter has come to an end. It is 60-49 here at the Dakar Arena in favor of Stade Malien. Fourth quarter action about to get underway at the Dakar Arena. Let's have a look at those stats, Ms. Asha Komagisha.
Yes, looking at Stade Malien leading on the assist board, 14 for them. They've been sharing that ball. It's been teamwork all round compared to REG 6 on the other side. 8 steals for Stade Malien. Amayo has been playing a key role there. Huge defense on Adonis Fila up front, and really just looking at the three-pointers. 6 for 22 for Mali. Not very impressive, but it's been very key in giving them that 11-point lead that they have so far at the moment.
Well, it must be very interesting around the benches, because there's a lot happening here in the arena. And Robbie, what could you pick up just out of that third quarter break?
Well, besides playing the djembe for a couple of minutes, I can honestly say that Coach Murray is saying, you know, as soon as we get back into this game, then we miss the rebound. We got to grab the rebounds.
Well, and the rebounding has been crucial. Ali Diarra has been the primary instigator and has been the go-to guy for Stade Malien. Thank you very much, Robbie, as they get first possession out of this and into this fourth quarter. Berthe. Chinielo right there, picking up the offensive rebound. Another one for Keita, who steps into it. Chinielo and Chomche battling for the rebound again. It's controlled for REG. Well, this is the business end for both teams. Fila, Dizeye, Thomas Jr., Agumuntwari, and Chomche. And that one goes right in, and Ulus Chomche opens the scoring for REG in the fourth.
Perhaps he got that commentator's blessing. As you say his name, he scored. Cute.
That's right, commentators can bless as well. The drive. And that's a fantastic finish by Solomon Berthe.
Solomon Berthe reacting in the right way for Stade Malien. And the one thing that has been very important for the Malian champions was when REG score, they score as well. So it maintains that lead that they have throughout this game.
They've had an answer every single time they've been tested. Chomche out, Aguminwari, the drive, Dizeye floats up and over. And that is a very, very finely finessed shot by Dizeye. 8 points now.
Yeah, that's good eyes on the baseline from Dizeye to deliver the 2 points.
Berte round the screen, and the contact call is going to go on Aguminwari.
Q, I just want to say something. I managed to catch the last few seconds of Coach Kabe Kante just before they came back on court. He was basically saying, you're not just playing for Stade Malien, you're playing for Mali today.
And the best way to try and motivate, it's not only club, it's also country, but it matters a lot.
Well, talking about winning for Mali, we spoke to Hamshet Tumaiga, who helped Mali win a women's Afrobasket title right here in Dakar in 2007. So perhaps that could be inspiration for Stade Malien.
They got to find any sort of inspiration. Shot clock violation, not inspirational on that offensive play. As a turnover comes, it's a 9-point game. Pfeiler. Guarded by Chinyelo. Graham. Now Graham on the baseline, knocks down a mid-range shot, nice in rhythm. And Graham has that look in his eye.
Talking about the look in his eyes, there's a lot of basketball to be played in these 7 minutes of the last quarter.
Verte off the dribble, and it's strong. And there's a push foul inside the paint, and it's going to be Chinyelo again. I think he picks up that one.
One interesting fact just about Dean Murray is that he spent 5 years at the NBD, which is, of course, the NBD League is the development league in the United States. So he has a very close link with the NBA Academy, so he understands that his player, like Chomche, understands exactly the setup and the systems very well.
The ball is thrown up and ahead, and yes, he does understand the systems. The touch comes. Graham is the guilty party. He's been very instrumental in this fight back from REG, as Dalvin Graham 12 points. He's got his contribution. Bridgeford on the baseline. And Chibozwa, who's back in on the rebound. Now Chibozwa running the point guard. Chibozwa into space. Double team. The kick out. 3-second call. Seconds inside the paint, and Darwin Graham just caught standing, and the referee Dorothy Okach makes the call.
Well, looking at that turnover from REG, they don't need that at this point in the game if they're to really, really continue asking Stade Malien the questions. They'll have to be a lot more careful. But on the other hand, Stade Malien,
strong drive. And Berthe throws the foul. He goes left this time.
Talking about Berthe, he must be, at this point, the player that really falls to the ground the most in this Sahara Conference so far. He drives to the basket with so much energy, with precision. At least he's protecting his shoulders now. You can see that he really needs to remain healthy for Stade Malien to at least achieve a playoff slot later in the tournament.
Well, it's all about the road to Kigali, and that motor of Solomon Berthe just seems to have electrical energy, or it just does not run out of energy at all, an eternal power source. And he continues to just lead the way scoring for them, and that another 2 free throws that drop, and he ties in for the leading scorer in this one. 16 points he has alongside his court mate Aliou Diarra, who's also back in. 6:34 left. Stade Malien still holding on. Graham drops off. Maybe last touch off the hands of Ruben Chinyelo.
And talking about Dizeye, he's been substituted, and in comes Thomas Jr. There's so much work to be done by the players of REG on the court right now.
Looking for answers, Coach Dean Murray. Thomas, back iron. Chinyelo could not find a Mayo out, who was on the run out. and just a bit strong on the pass.
When looking at Stade Malien, you really wonder why they're rushing, and that's the frustration on Coach Kabakante's face. They have a lead, it's a 9-point lead, and they just need to run the clock.
Securing the possession they did, and they did not maximize. Thomas Jr., Filer, Filer's three, wide left. Chinyelo Skies to secure. Now they push up to Berthe. Berthe, wow, spins, and the unsportsmanlike foul is called on Adonis Filer. Berthe drops the defense and he gets fouled hard.
It is really unnecessary there from Adonis Filer with that unsportsmanlike foul. And of all people, sending Solomon Berthe to the free throw line has been effective. He's just missed once in this game. And he'll be looking to replicate that form on the charity line, Solomon Berthe.
Yeah, Berthe has been pretty good from the free throw line in this one. 5 of 6 so far. Struggled from most other places, but the free throw line has brought him the most joy. And he keeps building. He gets both, and most importantly, Usher, is that it's going to be possession for Stade Malien out of this one, and they can extend their 11-point lead.
Well, there's a lot of frustration there from the REG technical bench as Dean Murray discusses with his assistant, Maxime Miseneza. It's
Berthe, strong on the shot. Chibozwa can't hold. It's kept alive by Amayo, who throws away. Now it's Delvin Graham back the other side. Graham forced to pick up the dribble. His pass, errant pass, is thrown over the head of Cleveland Thomas Jr. Well, we've seen a couple of poor passes in the last couple of possessions.
Yeah, that was really a poor pass from Graham, and you can see the shocking look on Dean Murray's face. He looks like a man who's perhaps given up, but maybe the experience of the players on the court could come into play. Q, what do you think?
There's still plenty of time left, and that's just disbelief in terms of what that possession had held. Chinyelo over the defense, back iron. Now Chibozwa has numbers. The extra pass to Filer, who holds. The drop of Manga back on the floor. Manga trying to go baseline. It just hasn't worked today for Pichu Manga at all. His stop-start game continues, and that turnover pretty much sums up what we've seen from him so far.
Yes, absolutely. You have to give credit to Stade Malien. They've been incredible on defense, especially on Pichu Manga. Chinyelu doing a lot of that work, of course, with help from Amayo.
The pass up! And it's Diarra again! And he is a legitimate lob threat inside the paint. Aliou Diarra, he knows what to do with it inside the painted area.
Well, Key, I'm starting to think that Aliou Diarra has a relationship with the hoop. Either there's a magnet pulling him up there. I really don't understand how he's able to have a great relationship and just having so much fun tonight against REG.
He has a great relationship with the rim. The extra pass, Manga is fouled, and that's another sequence of play that I suppose you'd prefer Chibozwa to get the shot up, given the state of the game, trying to get the three in, but he looks to see Manga wide open underneath. Nonetheless, the action is frenetic. It's 68-55 in favor of Stade Malien. Timeout on the floor. "13 points, the difference, as Stade Malien holding on to their lead. They have been really great. And Aliou Diarra, lob threat. Aliou Diarra finishing. And he has been a showcase inside the paint for his 18 points.
He's really had a great evening, great afternoon here at the Dakar Arena. Aliou Diarra, he's just been consistent in the games that Stade Malien have played so far. And just trying to show you the amount of talent that Mali have back home. And just enjoying himself. And if they get this victory tonight, it could go a long way in helping them to qualify for the playoffs.
Well, someone I hope is having a good evening is courtside, and that's Robbie, who's patrolling the sideline today. And Robbie, are you having a great evening so far?
Oh, I'm having a fantastic time. How could I not be having a good time? Look, I've got all of these dancers and these drums behind me. I'm jiving, I'm moving, I'm grooving. And look at the game. It's absolutely incredible. How about that? Yes, Monsieur Dam, look at that. Extraordinary score there from Bertie.
And he continues to have a great evening because he goes to 21 points to lead all scorers on the floor, Suleiman Bertie. Thank you very much, Robbie. And the atmosphere is starting to build up for sure. Thomas Jr. Drop-off pass into Graham, who's challenged, and he scores through the contact. Wow, Graham, I don't know how he was able to get that one to go, but through his strong left hand with the foul and the contact, it's the drop-off, the bunt, and the finish.
Well, Graham weaving his way under the basket to just get those 2 points timely for REG, just to stay in this one. They cannot afford to have any turnovers at this point, REG.
14 points, and that's the third personal on Chinyelo, only the 13th foul for the Rwanda Energy Group.
Just to give you a reaction from Coach Kaba, he's talking about the fact that we've just got to pass the ball around and still remain composed, and then pick your points, pick your shots, and pick them at the right time.
Picking his shots for REG is Dalvin Graham as he gets another timely basket on that miss. Back within 10. Bertie, we're trying something different on the defensive end. Now bring it to his own, Coach Dean Murray. See if he can't shift the offense for this Stade Malien group.
Well, looking at that replay there, foul on Shabozwa, but really that man, Suleiman Bertie, he's attracted the most fouls in this game so far. 11 times he's been fouled, Suleiman Bertie, going to the free throw most of the times. But now it will be possession for Stade Malien, and that man, Shabozwa Numukiza, is in foul trouble. 4 personal fouls.
Chinyelo, 4 personals for Shabozwa. Bertie, long range shot, long rebound is picked up. Graham was there, but Chinyelo wrestles it back for Stade Malien, who can control and take a little bit more time off the clock. It's Amayo. Amayo. The extra pass to Keita. Quick shot is connect from the three-point line. That is in rhythm. Big shot by Mamadou Keita.
It is a big one for Mamadou Keita, who's won 4 league titles back home in Mali, one of the experienced players on this team. And you can see that on the floor from how he handles the ball on both sides of the court.
It's gone fantastically well for Stade Malien. Keita, again, Keita hits another one. Big back-to-back threes from Mamadou Keita.
Incredible there, even the celebration on the bench. Amazing, very timely back-to-back 3-pointers for Stade Malien.
Yeah, I think the logo on the jersey of Stade Malien.
Oh, Graham! Oh! Coming right back, sorry, Robbie, that was amazing from Dalvin Graham.
Graham just smashing it down big time. No, I was saying that even the crocodiles on the logo of the Stade Malien team, they're just snapping away because they are all in this in a big way. What an incredible performance from the team who are looking to try and qualify for Kigali. And when you look on the other side, who have REG got to play after this? US Monastir.
Well, that makes the encounter with US Monastir even more tantalizing, as REG, who've already qualified, irrespective of what the result have in Usher competition, they still would have liked to close this out 5-0, but it's not looking like that at this point. And this win, well, potentially could be a victory for Stade Malien. But there's still 2 minutes and 9 seconds left in this one.
Well, absolutely, Q. We keep saying here that stranger things have happened in the game of basketball. It's a 15-point game with 2 minutes to play. However, the highlight reel of this particular game is going to be insane, through the roof, Q.
Both ends, both sides, Stade Malien and REG. We've seen some high-flying action for sure. Ball taken away out, and that's another big bucket. Amayo, his best game of this conference for sure.
Absolutely, he was in the starting 5 in their opening game against Monastir. He started on the bench for the next 3 games, but this performance amazing today from Amayo.
Chomche. Oh, that's a hard foul by Mamadou Keita. Aliou Diarra right there, just almost borderline, just dangerous as Chomche goes up, and the body contact by Mamadou Keita. And I do think the refs might review this and have a look on the replay and see if they do upscale the foul from a common foul. And they call for the replay.
Well, just looking at how things are at the moment, Q, it looks like Stade Malien have a reason to have all those smiles on their faces. But on the other side, REG, they were outplayed today, and you have to give credit to Coach Kabakante. This is a team that played just last night, the last game against AS Douane. It was very tough for them. They were playing against their brothers in the Senegalese champions, AS Douane. They lost that one. But just to turn around the attitude of the players in a matter of few hours is something that you have to credit Kabakante.
And that definitely can credit Kabakante. And we've seen the upgrading of the foul call, and it means that Uri Chomche will go to the free throw line to shoot 2, and it will be possession of the basketball for REG. Unsportsmanlike foul, Mamadou Keita. And I think that's fair enough. If we review and the way that he comes in, it's dangerous. Chomche could have come out of that a lot worse for wear.
Yeah, absolutely. Chomche, he also protected himself in the way that he fell. He's okay, he's back on the court and has a chance to make it count on the free throw line.
Well, young Ulrich Chomche has definitely had an impact for this Rwanda Energy Group team. He has struggled, though, from the free throw line. He's 1 of 8 now in conference play, and it's an area that he will definitely need to improve on. As he gets 1 of 2, it will be the Rwanda Energy Group basketball. We've got 143 left in what's been a very fascinating encounter. It's been a big one for Stade Malien. They've needed to win this one to stay and keep their hopes alive of booking a ticket to Kigali, and they will keep it alive on the back of this performance.
And talking about that, there's 3 changes on the floor with Nhore Habimana, Pascal Nyonguru on the court with Shaka Olivier, the captain of the team, getting some minutes of this game.
Some more minutes as the shot comes in. Right there, Habimana in the corner. And that is the sign, that is the signal that Coach Dean Murray has resigned himself to defeat in this one.
Well, we saw that with 5 minutes to play earlier in this last quarter, but they already qualified for the playoffs. They can go back home and prepare themselves for that big fixture against the defending champions of the BAL US Monastir from Tunisia.
The lob, and it goes in. Everything's gone in for Aliou Diarra. Takes him to 20 points again. And that is Amayo has found synergy with both Berthe and Diarra, and that has been a very key factor in the way that Stade Malien have performed. Habimana, drop-off pass. Chomche going to try and work against the 2 defenders. The hook shot rattles out, is chased down. Chinyelo taps out. 48.9 seconds. Much needed time, and the value of these minutes and experience, especially for the bench. And another look at Diarra. The block was there, but everything has gone his way inside the paint.
Everything has gone his way. He has the highest efficiency in this game at 32. He's in double digits, 14 rebounds, 20 points. I mean, what else must Aliou Diarra do to prove that he's been one of the most outstanding players in the Sahara Conference?
Sisoma also going to get a run for Coach Kabakante. There's the feed. Shaka can't finish. First touch was Sisoma. Makan Keita. Guarded by Chobozo. Keita in some trouble. And I do think there will be a contact call on Chabozo Abio Senamukiza picks up the foul.
Well, he's fouled out Jean-Jacques Wilson Shawazavio Senamukiza. That's his 5th personal foul. Just really a terrible way to end his time on the court tonight, as in comes Prince Muhizi.
8 points, his contribution on the offensive end. And with 35.4 seconds left, Stade Malien can start to take a bow. It'll be back to the drawing board for Coach Dean Murray, and you see Cleveland Thomas Jr. in the background as well. Not the performance they wanted on the day, but they were well and truly outplayed, well and truly out-hustled by this young Stade Malien team. And it was the 2 forwards again, and I think a breakout performance there from Calvin Amayo. We just capped what we saw from the 2 young stars from the Stade Malien team. 84-64, they secure possession again. Keita happy to run the ball out. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. The shot will come, and it'll be back iron. Very rarely do you see Aliou Diarra take a 3, and forced to take one there. Rushed across the court. Nyonkuru will just dribble this one out. The game clock, shot clock is turned off. The game clock is winding down, and it'll be a very, very famous victory for Stade Malien. And they definitely came into this one as underdogs, with the Rwanda Energy Group already qualifying and booking the ticket to Kigali. Their backs against the wall with the 1-2 record, but Stade Malien improved their record to 2-2, and they take a step closer to going to Kigali. It's one for the books, and a great performance by both Diarra and Berthe.
Incredible performance from the Malian champions. They'll be very proud, and that man Mamadou Keita just hitting those back-to-back 3-pointers that came at a very crucial time in this game, just to define it at the end of it all. It's a 20-point game, and you just get the feeling that they deserved to win. They threw everything on the court, and what an amazing result for Kabakante's side.
They improved their shooting from the 3-point line. They were great in and around the boards, and what we saw was really fantastic work from this team. And you know, Amayo was definitely one of the most improved performers, and we got to see some really great basketball. Coach Kabakante clearly the happier of the two, and I think we're ready courtside now, well, with the interview, and it's going to be Robbie Knock courtside with John, or with Amayo.
Kelvin, congratulations, a fantastic result, 2 wins now, which means that you're on a really good path and way for qualification.
No, definitely. We had a tough loss yesterday, but we came back and got a good win today, so we needed that.
On a personal note, this is quite extraordinary. You had an injury in the first game, you battled back and you put in an incredible performance here. The stats are good, but all in all, you know, how do you feel about all of this?
Just had to thank God. It was a tough first game, and just get my rhythm back. But my team stayed with me, and today I got the chance to showcase who I really am.
That's fantastic, and alongside some great players as well. Tell me what it's like to play alongside the likes of Diarra and Berthe.
They're big-time talent. They're big-time talent. Now the world is getting to see them. They're big-time talent for sure.
And how far can Stade Malien go?
We could go to Rwanda. We could showcase some real big things, to be honest. We just got to get there.
Well, we'll see you in Kigali.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's keep pushing. Thank you. Thank you for sure.
Thank you, Kelvin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great words from that man, Calvin Amayo. And you have a look at his performance today. 14 points, 56% from the field. It's those extra 6 assists. You know, you get visions of that, the lob threat and the pass to Aliou Diarra. 5 steals and 2 3-pointers. Really great individual performance.
Yeah, talking about those 5 steals, he was great on defense and of course also on offense. But this, that, you know, experience that he brings to this Stade Malien side, they needed someone to just add to what Suleiman Berthe and Aliou Diarra can bring into that fixture, and you could see that it means so much to the Malian champions. They can now believe, they can now, you know, get into their next game thinking that, yes, they have what it takes to go to the playoffs in Kigali in May.
Well, the road to Kigali is paved with many stones, and we get to see that Stade Malien taking a step closer, and we have another look at those full-time stats. 19 assists to the 12 of REG, who were averaging the most assists coming into this one, and they were really stifled by the defense of Stade Malien. 9 of 30 from the three-point line. Best shooting evening for Stade Malien against the 4 of 26 from the Rwanda Energy Group. 84 points, 64 the most important part of that scoreline. And credit to Coach Kabakante, credit to the character of Stade Malien, and we have confirmation of our results. And that's not the only game, of course, we have in the Sahara Conference today, because the Kwara Falcons will be on court later, 0-3, looking for their first win in this one. ASD1 coming off a win yesterday evening, trying to secure their ticket to Kigali. It's a big one in terms of the Sahara Conference, and we'll be back here at the Dakar Arena, BAL for her day, and we'll catch you a little bit later for the second one in this. Final score here, Dakar Arena, 86-64 in favor of Stade Malien.